Hi everyone, this is the general reading for Libra Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. I hope you are all doing very well. I'm just going to go over a couple of updates, announcements. Firstly, thank you all so much for your support, comments, likes, and shares. It all means a lot to me. It's very heartwarming to watch this channel grow so rapidly and to be able to share these messages with all of you. So thank you so much. I do also have a blog post for the astrological information that's used in this video. It's in a link in the description box down below if you're interested in that. Personally, I like to have a reference to go back on throughout the month to just remember what's happening when. I also wanted to say that I know I have gotten a lot of email requests for private readings. I haven't heard back from some of you. I did hear from others that the emails actually were ending up in their spam folder. So if you sent me an email for a private reading and didn't hear back from me, there's a very good chance that it just ended up in your spam folder, because I did respond to everyone that got through to me. All of that aside, I'm going to kind of go into the astrological forecast. We started off this Aries season actually with a Libra full moon, so in your sign, which really brought a lot of emphasis on emotions regarding relationships, the way that you show up to your relationships, perhaps the way you compromise, and that's kind of in just the general collective to begin with. But it's an interesting way to start off Aries season. It almost seems like taking a stand in your relationships, really advocating for yourself. If you were the type of person who wasn't standing up for yourself to your partner or in your relationships in general, it may really be bringing that to the forefront. So that is something to be aware of. We are entering Aries season. I mean, we're already in Aries season, but as the planets move through, that is going to be opposing you, and that's going to be going through a lot of... It's going to be manifesting in a lot of your relationships. So there may be some intense energy that's happening, especially towards the end of the month or the middle of the month. I'll get more into that in just a second. We do have Mercury in the post-shadow phase. It's going to be there. It's going to be in that phase until April 7th. I feel like it's going to be a finishing up of all the spiritual downloads and emotional breakthroughs that have been coming through. There might still be intuitive insights to come, or dreams or visions. For some of you, there is also... Mercury is conjuncting Neptune that day as well, so that's why I'm kind of thinking it's going to be the install period for all of the downloads that people have been having. We might even manifest things very suddenly, or new developments will just almost occur out of nowhere, out of thin air, it seems like. But it's been brewing for a while in this Pisces season. It's been brewing a while in this Mercury retrograde, and it's going to really come to the surface, I think. I've been saying this for all the other videos. Whenever we have Mercury retrograding in a sign like Pisces, especially, things get really, really murky. So all of this miscommunication and misinformation that's been occurring, it may not even become apparent until we are in this post-shadow phase. It's almost the catch-up phase, so to speak. So just be aware that there may be some kinks in the road, or some blockages that suddenly become apparent that weren't readily visible before. That's just something you may want to keep an eye out for. But yeah, we do have a few outer planets going retrograde this month as well. We do have Jupiter going retrograde in Sagittarius on the 11th. We have Pluto going retrograde in Capricorn. I want to say that's the 24th. It could be the other way around, because Saturn is going retrograde on the 30th in Capricorn. So either way, we do have these two outer planets going retrograde in Capricorn end of April. And all of this is really going to be making us reevaluate the way that we show up in the world, reevaluate the way that we achieve status or climb higher, and the way we transform and deal with loss. And I think with Sagittarius especially, we're really looking at things in the long term. We're really trying to get a sense of what we're doing next, what's the next venture for us, and that's going to kind of apply to the whole collective. So just some general information to be aware of. I was tuning into your energy as I was clearing out the deck, and I did have a couple cards that actually fell out. I had the Empress, which to me indicates you. This is a very Venusian energy, and this is telling me that you're very much, it came out upright, so it feels like you're very much in your power. You're coming in very strong and very regal, and it's not like this overwhelming strength of like a knight or a king or something. It's a much more, it's a softer, more contained inner power that I feel with you. But you are dealing with this Queen of Cups in reverse. You could actually be dealing with a water sign, so that could be Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces. Perhaps needing to cut this person out. It feels like someone is being very manipulative. I'm also getting maternal, so this could be like mother or grandmother. This does feel pretty feminine for most of you, and this may end up coming up in the reading, it may not. This may only apply to a couple people. Obviously, these are general readings, so not all of the messages that come through are going to apply to you specifically. You're just going to have to use your discernment and figure out what messages are for you and what messages are to be left behind. But yeah, that's just an interesting start to this read. It does seem like you're feeling very strong, very powerful. This could also potentially be a partner as well. This, if you're in a relationship with a water sign, or just someone who's they're very emotionally attuned. They're very good at reading situations, at getting the vibe of the room, but they use this sensitivity in destructive ways. Instead of using it to be therapeutic and cathartic for people, this person is actually using it to be manipulative. So that may be something to watch out for. This could also be another Libra or a Taurus that is acting this way as well. So just be careful. Watch your energy, guard your energy, and be careful with who you surround yourself with, because this is a really psychic person. This is a really powerful, intuitive person. Yeah. That's pretty much it for the pre-read that I can think of. Oh, I did want to go in really quickly. We do have Mercury and Venus going into Aries on the 17th and 20th, respectively. So there is going to be some picking up of the energy halfway through April, mid to end of April. And I think that's really going to be, that could be uncomfortable for a lot of you, because that is in your opposite signs. Some of you may have to make sudden plans or come to quick decisions in your relationships especially, or just with the people around you. There could also be a lot of reignited passion, a lot of reignited love. There could also be new love, potentially even a fling, being Aries season. It's kind of going from the dreamy Pisces season, you know, this love is in the air, to mating season, is how I put it in the blog post. Which is all available down below. If you're more interested in a thorough read of all of that, I highly recommend you check that link out. But I will begin the actual reading for you guys. I'm curious to see what the past energy is coming into April, what the first half and second half of April will look like for you as well. So I'm just going to tune in 1 second. I was told to shuffle 4 times. Alright, let's see, what do we have for Libra? Interesting. So we have the Ten of Wands in reverse, the Emperor in reverse, and the Nine of Pentacles. So it seems like some of you were really stripping extraneous burdens, or just really managing your commitments. I think you were feeling a bit overburdened by the start of March, or there may have just been too many things going on. You were feeling a lot of weight on you. This is actually pretty interesting because we do have the Emperor now in reverse. It seems like some of you may have been dealing with kind of unhealthy Aries energy, so someone very self-centered, potentially destructive. Someone who might have been trying to control you. It could be an Aries, it might not be. Obviously, this is a general, so it's not going to be the same for everyone. But it seems like this person was really affecting you emotionally. Perhaps that was the Queen of Cups energy, even someone kind of doing it in an emotionally manipulative way. But it seems like they were really putting a lot on you, and they were putting a lot of pressure on you, or they were just part of this pressure that was being put on you. This could actually be paternal as well. This could be fatherhood issues that were weighing really heavily on your heart in March. I do, however, have this Nine of Pentacles, so it seems like a lot of what you were focusing on was just trying to keep yourself in a good space. It seems like you actually, despite everything that was going on and despite how you were feeling, it actually seems like mentally you still managed to keep your space clear and calm. You were able to kind of recoup psychologically, and you might have just been taking a break from people. I think that's a good way to kind of use the Mercury retrograde, to be totally honest. I don't see that you were super communicative. I think you were just more focused on your life and your goals and the things that make you happy, and kind of just, you know, resting up. This is also kind of a single energy too. Some of you may have very well walked away from some sort of commitment. That's actually quite possible. Some sort of relationship that was really, really heavy, especially if it was with a fire or possibly water sign. Not, doesn't have to be, but that's coming up pretty strongly. And it seems like, or if you manage to stay in this relationship, or you decide to stay in this relationship, it still seems like you were very much focused on yourself. And this other person was definitely focused on themselves anyway, so I think it gave you permission to be more invested in your own best interest. So I'm going to take a peek at the animal wisdom here. What is the animal messages for the past coming into April? Interesting. Hyena. Someone might have been using humor to mask a situation, using humor to mask a problem. They might have been putting on a false front. This is a bit deceptive card. You know, this could also just be representing the beginning of Aries season. Some of you might have really felt that pretty heavily. And it was making you face that shadow side, that part of you that you like to hide, that part of you you don't like to face up to. Some of you were being really strongly confronted with that. There is also the potential for, you know, drinking problem is actually coming up a little bit, that kind of drunken laughter. This card does call for sobriety to bring it into balance if hyena energy is out of balance. This seems like someone who's really... This can be someone who's given up on their dreams, someone who doesn't really go very deep with people, that they're kind of guarded. Perhaps that's why you needed to do this, be in this Nine of Pentacles mentality for a little bit. You needed to reconnect with yourself because you're having a hard time being yourself around these other people. It just seems like there's so much going on. Very interesting read so far. I'm curious, what does the first half of April look like for Libra? Interesting. One more, please. Okay, so we have this Two of Wands in reverse, this Page of Swords, and we have this Death card and this Ace of Pentacles in reverse. These two came out together. interesting. I feel like for some of you, there just isn't this seeing eye to eye, especially in a work or home situation. People just aren't seeing eye to eye. There's kind of a short-sightedness. There's potentially from this burden that you were experiencing in March, people are still not seeing each other clearly. There's not this reciprocation or meeting of minds that needs to occur. I feel like there might also be travel delays for some of you. If some of you are trying to go somewhere else, or cancellations, canceled plans. We are still going to be in the post-shadow of Mercury retrograde after all. We do have this Page of Swords. This could be immature or young, youthful air energy. So this could be you. It could potentially be a Gemini, another Libra, or an Aquarius. It seems like someone is very... This almost feels like you getting back in touch with yourself, to be honest. And you might even be getting a little bit argumentative with people. You might even be getting... You're standing up for yourself more. It seems like at the start of April, I see you coming across as almost a little guarded, to be honest. But it seems like it might be called for, to be totally honest with you. With this Ace of Pentacles and Death card that came out together, I am feeling like there's a couple of possibilities, you know, depending on the group you find yourself in. Some of you may have had an offer for stability that ends up not being as good as it seemed. It might fall through. It might be an ending. You might have hoped for a new beginning, but it didn't end up being... It didn't end up coming into fruition. This could also potentially be a Scorpio, or a person with a lot of Scorpio placements in their chart, who is trying to give you an offer for stability, but it seems like they aren't actually able to give it to you. It's something you should be a bit skeptical of, especially with Page of Swords here. There might be a little bit of deception that's going on. This person might just not have the resources or the means to the stability that they're trying to give to you. Or this could potentially be you offering stability to a Scorpio, and it doesn't seem like it's going to be reciprocated, or it doesn't seem like it's something you can actually give at this time. Obviously take that as it resonates. What is the animal wisdom for this situation? This is a lot of cards, but I think I'm going to go with it. I have the bear, the dragonfly, and the unicorn. So with the unicorn and the dragonfly together, I think it's it's really important for you to still be clear, mentally clear. You know, be very decisive, but also make sure that it's coming from a place of mental clarity, a place of mental stability. Don't be so quick to rush to a decision, even though things feel like, it feels like you might be a bit rushed. I think there is a lot of downloads that are actually still going to be happening for you, a lot of spiritual insights that are still going to be coming in. The unicorn represents the third eye chakra, so there's definitely this. It feels like a very psychic energy. There might be a lot of confusion from this, however, and it's just good to meditate and good to, you know, breathe through all of this intense energy that's coming forward. There is this sense of a spiritual awakening as well with bear. It is the start of spring after all, and this card has been coming up for a lot of people. But this is kind of the post-shadow Mercury retrograde phase I was talking about. It's coming out of a hibernation, coming out of a dormancy, and it's a bit groggy, and it can be kind of slow to start things. There was kind of delays that were coming up as well. But you are on the right track. You are going in the right direction. It might be a bit slower than you had anticipated. And it's just important for you to stay clear and potentially work with your third eye too. You might still be having, there might be more intuition that's to come about this situation, especially around April 7th when Mercury is conjunct with Neptune. That does feel like a pretty psychic window for you. I'm going to now look at the second half of April. Okay, we have this Ace of Cups, Nine of Wands, and King of Wands. So things definitely seem like they are looking up. towards the end of April, I feel like there is this new emotional beginning. This could potentially be new love or new healing or a reconciliation that comes in. This honestly feels a bit more like familial or in the workplace or with a business partner, someone who's very much a part of your day-to-day life. But it could also be a romantic partner. It could even be a really close friend or family member. It seems like there will be healing, especially towards the end of the month. There. And you might just be feeling better about whatever situation you're dealing with. Because it does seem like there's a lot of heaviness. There's a lot of reversed fire energy. There's the heat is on you. With this Nine of Wands, I do see that you're going to feel a bit worn out, but I feel like you are going to come out victorious. You are going to be... you're definitely going to be tired, I feel like, by the end of the month, even though this healing is coming, this fresh start, this elixir, so to speak, this balm for whatever it was you were dealing with. I still think there's going to be a need to heal, especially emotionally. You're going to feel a bit beat up, but you did, you know, you overcame. You did rise above, or you're going to be rising above. And this King of Wands, this could be you communicating with a fire sign, so that could be an Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius, or just someone who's very much in command and in control of their own energy. I feel like this could also be some of you who are really following your own passions by the end of the month, filling up your own cup. You could be working on some new career or business venture that's really fulfilling to you. It looks like whatever it is, there's a lot of passion and a lot of new energy coming towards the end of April, especially. That's really nice. It seems like whatever was delayed at the start of April, there is going to be some newness towards the end. I'm going to pull one more animal card just to see what, this one fell right out, what this stuff is all about. And we have Whale. So this is a really beautiful card. I love this card. It's one of my most favorite cards in this whole deck. Whale to me is someone who, kind of like the Nine of Wands, they're able to heal people because they themselves have weathered tough storms. They have felt really strong currents and been tossed, you know, they've felt the throes of the sea. And you're able to rescue other people as a result of it. This is a very healing, maternal, guardian energy. This could also be this King of Wands who's coming in towards the end of the month too. This person might have a lot of fire and water in their chart. It feels really good. I also get the sense with this card that it's important for you to come up for air, so to speak, even though you are very much working on the things that you care about towards the end of the month. You're definitely reigniting your passions or really getting a fresh start on things. It's still important for you to take a break, to take care of yourself. Even though Whale finds itself at home in the element of water, it still needs to come up to breathe. And that's kind of the wisdom I'm getting for you. Definitely engage in healthy self-care. It looks like it might be needed, but I think whatever rocky start you've had or whatever you've been dealing with in March, it seems like there's going to be a lot more healing and resolution by the end of the month, or potentially out into May as well. You know, time with these readings can also be a little bit subjective. It can kind of bleed out into different weeks. And that's all the messages I am getting for you right now, Libra. I do hope that this was helpful for you. If it didn't resonate, definitely feel free to check out the other videos as well, your other placements, so your moon, rising, Venus, or sun, if you're like a Venus or Libra rising or something. You can also book a personal reading with me. With my contact information is in the description below with all my other information. Otherwise, I will see you next time. Bye, Libra.